Hi, girls. In the first session, we saw about the microorganisms, their definitions. We also saw about the general characteristic features of the microorganisms. And we had a look into the various methods of classifying the microorganisms. And in detail, we saw about the classification pertaining to the five kingdom concept. Let us now proceed further. The next classification is the Eight Kingdom concept. The Eight Kingdom concept was proposed by Cavalier and Smith in the year 1987. This system divides the microbes into two empires having eight kingdoms. This system includes two empires, namely bacteria and eukaryota. The empire bacterium is further divided into two kingdoms. They are the eubacteria, which includes all the true bacteria, and the archaeobacteria, which includes all the filamentous bacteria. So we have remaining six more. Eukaryota is divided into six kingdoms, and they include Archaeosa. It includes the microscopic animals feeding on archaebacteria. And in the image, you can see the Archaeosa, microorganism belonging to the kingdom Archaeosa. And this is Protozoa, which is a unicellular animal. And this you would have studied even in your earlier classes. The next one is called as the chromista. So the name has chroma in it. Chromista, chroma. So chroma means it's a color, or there are some pigments in this kingdom. So it includes photosynthetic organisms having chromoplasts. So chromoplasts are those that will carry the coloring matter in the lumen of the endoplasmic reticulum. So the green color is present in the leaves of plants and trees. So the green coloration is due to the presence of chlorophyll in the cells called as the chloroplast. Because of the presence of the chlorophyll, the leaves appear to be green in color. So it adds chroma. Similarly, here also in this kingdom, the organisms are found to be pigmented, and it includes diatoms, cryptomonads, and the brown algae. And obviously, brown algae is going to carry the brown colored pigment. Plantae is the next kingdom, and it includes photosynthetic plants and algae. And what is photosynthesis? Photosynthesis is the process by which the plants are able to synthesize their own food with the help of sunlight. They require water and carbon dioxide for the preparation of carbohydrates. So in the presence of sunlight, carbon dioxide and water, carbohydrates are produced, which will provide nutrition to the plants. So here, all the plants and algae that are capable of synthesizing their own food is called as the plantae. The next one is the fungi. It includes eukaryotic multicellular organisms, and they have absorptive mode of nutrition, which means they cannot prepare their own food. They depend upon the other animals or plants or other dead or living matter to derive the nutrition. They absorb the nutrition from the host on which they live. Mushroom is one of the fungi. Some of them are edible, some of them are not edible. And here we find the inedible fungi that has been grown on a decayed piece of wood. Animalia is the next kingdom, and it includes the multicellular animals. So all the animals, the birds, reptiles, mammals, all of them belong to this category, and they have the ingestive mode of nutrition. Ingestive mode of nutrition means they are capable of consuming the food. It may be plant food or animal food. They are capable of consuming, eating the food, and therefore they belong to this category of animalia. The next mode of classification is the three-domain system. In the three-domain system, we have bacteria, archaea, and eukaryota. Bacteria includes unicellular and filamentous prokaryotes. Archaea we saw just now in the earlier eight kingdom concept, and eukaryota I will be explaining it in detail in the subsequent slides. Classification based on the nature of the nuclear material. Based upon the presence of the nuclear material, the microbes are classified into two groups. They are the prokaryotes and the eukaryotes. This is the figure of the prokaryotes. So the prokaryotes are the organisms which does not contain a nucleus, and it is called as the prokaryotes. In this figure, we find that there is no nucleus, but in the place of nucleus, we have only nucleoid. And the nuclear material remains scattered in the cytoplasm. There is no nuclear membrane. You can find here that there is no nucleus as well as nuclear membrane. Only the nucleoid is present in the organism. The nuclear material is not surrounded by a nuclear membrane, and it is called as the nucleoid, or it is called as the incipient nucleus. The cell containing nucleoid is called as the prokaryotic cell. And in the prokaryotic cell, the ribosome is 70S. 70S here means the size of the ribosome. In this image, we can find that there are ribosomes. The dotted spots are the ribosomes. So the prokaryotes contain ribosomes. And the chromosome is circular in shape. Cell organelles like mitochondria, Golgi apparatus, lysosomes, endoplasmic reticulum, and centrioles are absent. Example, bacteria. So the important cell organelles, like we saw in the earlier slide, like Golgi, lysosome, endoplasmic reticulum, they are absent in the prokaryotes. And this is the image of the eukaryote. So the image of the eukaryotes, in this image, you can find that there is a distinct nucleus which is covered by a nuclear envelope, or it is called as the nuclear membrane. Eukaryotes are organisms which contain a true nucleus, and the nuclear material is surrounded by a nuclear membrane. The cell containing the nucleus is called as an eukaryotic cell. So here we find that there is a well distinct nucleus, and also we have a nuclear membrane. The organism which contain a true nucleus is called as the eukaryotes, and they are surrounded by nuclear membrane, and it is called as an eukaryotic cell. We can now look into the differentiation between the eukaryotic and the prokaryotic cell. Coming to the size of the prokaryotic cell is about 1 to 4 microns, or it may be even less than that. The size of the eukaryotic cell is greater than 5 microns in diameter. The location of the genetic system, it is nucleoid, chromatin body, or the nuclear material, and in the eukaryotic cell, the nucleus, mitochondria, and the chloroplast. Structure of the nucleus, in the prokaryotic cell, nuclear membrane is absent. One circular chromosome is present in the prokaryotic cell. While in the eukaryotic cell, they have a true nucleus, and the cell has a DNA which is surrounded by a membrane. Nucleolus is absent in the prokaryotic cell, and it is present in the eukaryotic cell. Sexuality, zygote is merozygotic in the prokaryotic cell, and the zygote is diploid in the eukaryotic cell. So this is based upon the reproductive capacity of the cells. Pinocytosis, that is engulfing the liquid in the cells, it is absent in the prokaryotic cell, whereas it is present in the eukaryotic cell. Mesosomes, which are responsible for certain important functions, they are present in the prokaryotic cell and absent in the eukaryotic cell. Ribosomes, responsible for protein synthesis. The size of the ribosome is 70S in the prokaryotic cell, and it is 80S in the eukaryotic cell. Mitochondria, which is called as the powerhouse of the cell, is absent in prokaryotes and present in the eukaryotes. Chloroplast, where the chlorophyll will be present, is absent in the prokaryotes, and in the eukaryotic cell, sometimes it may be present. Golgi structure, they are absent in the prokaryotic cell, while it is present in the eukaryotic cell. Endoplasmic reticulum, which is a continuation of the nuclear membrane, is absent in the prokaryotic cell, while it is present in the eukaryotic cell. Locomotory organelles, which helps the movement of the microorganism from one place to another. It is in the form of simple fibrils in the prokaryotic cell, whereas it is multifibril in the eukaryotic cell. Pseudopodia also is a locomotory organ. It is absent in the prokaryotic cell and present in some of the eukaryotic cells. Here I have given the comparative figures, images of the eukaryotes and the prokaryotes. Let us now see about the details of bacteria. Bacteria are microscopic unicellular prokaryotic organism. The study of bacteria is called as bacteriology. Ehrenberg in 1829 established the genus Bacterium. Under this genus Bacterium, we will have various species of bacteria. Bacteria are present everywhere. They are present in water, in soil, in air, in over our body and also inside our body. So examples of bacteria includes Escherichia coli, which we call as E. coli, Lactobacillus and Streptococcus. This is the diagrammatic representation of the bacteria. And we find that they are eukaryotes. They don't have a nucleus. They only have a nucleoid. We find ribosomes and there is cytoplasm, a membrane covering that. And at the outermost, we have the capsule. So capsule, it covers the entire bacteria. And also we have the flagellum and pili. We will discuss these in detail. General characteristics or the features of bacteria. So some of these are the following are the major features of bacteria. They exist everywhere. They are omnipresent. They are unicellular, have only one cell. And some of them exist as colonies. They can occur as individual bacteria or they can exist in colonies, which means they can live as groups. They are prokaryotic. They don't have a nucleus. The size is about 0.5 micron to 3 microns. And they are of different shapes. And the structure of the bacteria, they vary. They are in the form of rods, spheres, spirals, and also filaments. The cell is enclosed in a cell envelope made of a capsule, a cell wall, and a plasma membrane. Here we can find the capsule, the cell wall, and the plasma membrane, which is the cytoplasmic membrane. The nuclear material is represented by a nucleoid without nuclear membrane. Here we find there is no nucleus, there is only nucleoid, and the nucleoid is not covered by a membrane. And an extra chromosome DNA called plasmid is usually present in the cytoplasm. The cell organelles include 70S ribosomes and the mesosomes. You can find the ribosomes, which are granular, and also the mesosome, which is the invagination of the cytoplasmic membrane. Other organelles such as mitochondria, lysosomes, Golgi body, endoplasmic reticulum, centrioles are absent. Appendages like flagella and pili are present. Here we find the hair-like appendages. These hair-like appendages are called as the flagellum. The longer one is called as the flagellum and the shorter one is called as the pili. And these two appendages, they help in the mobility of the bacteria and also for the reproduction of the bacteria. They are either gram-positive or gram-negative based upon that staining characteristic, and they show absorptive mode of nutrition. They cannot prepare their own food. Therefore, they absorb the nutrition from the host on which it lives. And they multiply by binary fission. Binary fission is a process of the division of one bacteria into two bacterium. So, one bacteria will divide into two daughter bacteria, and this process is called as binary fission. This is a mode of reproduction in the bacteria. And some of the bacteria also reproduce by endospores. Endospores are formed within the body of the bacterium, and this is something like a seed. It is dormant, and these endospores can grow into a new bacterium when there is a conducive environment. Bacteria are unicellular, microscopic, prokaryotic organisms lacking chlorophyll. Bacteria are omnipresent, and the range in size from 0.5 micrometers to 600 micrometers. The bacteria are either spherical or rod-shaped or spiral, or it can also be curved. The spherical bacterium is called as the coccus. Coccus means a berry. In this image, we can find the structure of the bacteria. The rod-shaped bacteria are called as the bacillus. The spherical bacteria are called as the coccus, and the spiral bacteria are called as the spirillum. Corkscrew-shaped bacteria is called as the spirochete, and the comma-shaped bacteria is called as the vibrio. The individual spherical bacterium is called as the micrococcus. When there is only one single coccus, it is called as the micrococcus. When this coccus occur in pairs, when two of them are present together, they are called as the diplococci. When this cocci is arranged in fours, when there are four cocci arranged together, it is called as the tetracocci. And when this cocci are arranged in chains, when they stick together and form a long chain, they are called as the streptococci. And when the cocci are arranged in clusters or in groups, or when they look like a bunch of grapes, they are called as the staphylococci. Here in this image, you can see the various types of coccus: the micrococcus, diplococcus, tetrad, the streptococci, staphylococci, and when they stick together in the form of a cube, they are called as the sarcina. The rod-shaped bacteria, they are called as the bacilli. The bacilli may be found individually or it can occur in pairs like that of the coccus, or they can form a chain, or they can also form a bunch like that of a grapes. The individual rod-like bacteria are called as bacilli. When they occur in pairs, they are called as diplobacilli. When they stick together, form a long chain, they are called as the streptobacillus. And when they occur in groups, they are called as the staphylobacillus. In this image, we can find the bacilli, the diplobacilli, they are occurring in pair, and as a long chain, streptobacilli, and the groups, they are also called as the palisades. The spiral bacteria are spirally curved. They may be slightly curved like a comma, example the Vibrio, or they may be spirally coiled like that of a spring, example spirillum. In addition to this, there are also filamentous bacteria and fungus-like bacteria which are multicellular. In this image, you can find the filamentous bacteria. They are almost looking like a fungus. And the bacteria are also classified based upon their staining characteristic, and they are called as the gram-positive bacteria and gram-negative bacteria based upon the staining characteristic of the whether they can or cannot stain using the gram stain. The gram-positive bacteria retain the violet color on gram stain, while the gram-negative bacteria appear in red color. In this image, we can see the gram-positive and the gram-negative bacteria. The gram-positive bacteria are violet in color, while the gram-negative bacteria are red in color. Thank you, girls. So far, we have seen about the various classifications of the bacteria. We saw the 8 kingdom concept, division of microorganism based upon their nuclear material, and also we saw the 3 domain concept, and we saw in detail about the structure of bacteria. Thank you.